morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and welcome to Global Atheist News, dateline the 23rd of July, 2022. This is our weekly report on how religion has impacted humanity over the last 7 days. This week's headlines. A woman in Wisconsin was left to bleed for more than 10 days after suffering an incomplete miscarriage, as doctors in the state struggled to navigate the law on abortion in post-Roe America. President Biden tells campaigners to keep protesting. Texas sues to block Biden from requiring doctors to provide abortions in medical emergencies. Republicans are shocked that a 10-year-old can get pregnant after the Ohio rape victim abortion story proves to be true. The GOP platform for the primary elections focuses on abortion restriction. Lauren Boebert is reported to the FBI over her tweet in which she called for the presidency to be terminated. Local Action South Africa party members say they are holding monthly prayer meetings to pray the ANC out of government. The Western Australia school community wants the best person for the job for chaplaincy. Shoalhaven City Council's mayor talks about her council's experience of replacing Christian prayer rituals with a moment of silent reflection to open its meetings. Australian Labor MP Tim Watts says it's not appropriate for the National Parliament to impose daily prayer rituals. A weird indoctrination ceremony occurs in Atlanta, Georgia. An Indian man was arrested for wrapping chicken in newspaper bearing the images of Hindu gods. A woman in Wisconsin was left to bleed for more than 10 days after suffering an incomplete miscarriage, as doctors in the state struggled to navigate the abortion laws in post-Roe America. Carly Zeal, an ob-gynae surgeon in southern Wisconsin and a fellow with Physicians for Reproductive Health, told the Washington Post that the unidentified woman was going through a miscarriage and needed to have the fetal tissue removed from her uterus. However, because of Wisconsin's outright ban on abortion, the woman was turned away by emergency room staff at a hospital in the state. Dr. Zeal said that she saw the woman more than 10 days later when she was still bleeding severely and at a serious risk of infection. President Biden says, keep protesting. See this video.
Do you have a message to the president for women who were protesting
down
yesterday?
Yes, keep protesting. Yes, keep making your point. We can work on it. But as president, I don't have the authority to say that we're going to stay Roe v. Wade as the law of the land. The only way to do that is through election of the United States Congress.
The state of Texas on Thursday asked a federal court to block the Biden administration's requirement that physicians and hospitals should provide abortions in medical emergencies. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, in a lawsuit filed in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Texas, argued that federal law does not confer a right to an abortion. The law comes 3 days after Health and Human Services Secretary Xavier Becerra warned hospitals and physicians that they are required to provide abortions in medical emergencies where it is necessary treatment to protect the life of a pregnant woman. Becerra said hospitals and physicians who refuse to comply could have their Medicare provider agreements terminated and face financial penalties. To see what it's like working in abortion provision today in the USA, watch this video.
We have patients who have a lot of questions. They know that Roe was overturned, but when it comes to state, they're really not sure what's happening. The real concern has been, what do I do if I need to seek medical help in my state that's banned abortion? So people are scared. We do expect to have an increase of 14,000 patients. That increase won't happen overnight. And I think at this moment, we are ahead of what's happening. The calls are coming in very frequently. Your average caller needs every logistical thing that we offer, be it a plane ticket, hotel room, procedural help, food help, gas card. Phone ring and we'll say, thank you for calling the Regional Logistics Center. This is Kawana speaking. How may I help you? Maybe we'll go through their funding, right? We'll screen them for financial assistance and start going through the different funds of their state that's active to be able to help them. If we're not able to get it all done in that phone call, we would tell them, do not cancel your appointment for financial reasons. I probably did 15 patients alone yesterday, and there was not one person yesterday that did not need everything. We definitely are understaffed. It's definitely been a stretch because literally soon you hang up the phone, another call is coming through. The most calls that we get, there's a lot of patients that want to come from one state to another to receive medication abortions. And a lot of them are asking, what do they do when they go back to their state and they may have an issue. People are scared that for whatever reason that their state might come after them. You cannot be helping patients 800 miles away and 700 miles away, and you're in despair. But we can't get weary and well doing. You can't. You must be hopeful, and you must be able to give that hope to your patients. So there's always hope. In this dark hour, there is tons of light.
Congressional Republicans who oppose abortion rights are struggling to talk about the horrific case of a 10-year-old rape victim who had to travel across state lines to Indiana to get an abortion because of strict laws in her home state of Ohio. The case made international headlines after President Joe Biden decried public Republican policies that forced the already traumatized child to have to travel out of state to terminate the pregnancy. Republicans and right-wing media criticized Biden, suggesting that the case had been fabricated, only for a suspect to be arrested days later. Confronted with the reality of the case, GOP lawmakers interviewed on Thursday appeared to be grappling with how to respond, from confusion to blaming the media. Many expressed shock that it was even biologically possible for the 10-year-old child to become pregnant. Some said they were torn morally about whether abortions should be allowed in cases of incest or rape, as in the Ohio case. And others tried to turn the conversation to the undocumented immigrant who prosecutors allege raped the girl. I'm amazed a 10-year-old got pregnant. You really wrestle with that. That's a tough one, Representative Bob Gibbs, Republican, Ohio, said Thursday. Representative Debbie Lesko, Republican, Arizona, said, I can't imagine being 10 years old and pregnant, adding, I don't think I was even able to have children when I was 10 years old. It's just awful. It's awful all the way round. Representative Roger Williams, Republican, Texas, said, I'm a pro-life guy, okay? And God's in charge on this. We're all God's children. This is a tough call, and I don't know if I know that answer right now, because now you've got another baby involved. She's pregnant. She's a baby. Just days earlier, several high-profile Republicans said the story was fake, using it to accuse Democrats of overreach in their response to the Supreme Court's ruling overturning Roe versus Wade. See this video.
At an arraignment Wednesday in Columbus, Ohio, a judge ordered 27-year-old rape suspect Gerson Fuentes held on $2 million bail.
It's my understanding she, in fact, just turned 10 years old.
According to court documents, Fuentes confessed to raping and impregnating a 10-year-old girl. A detective says she then traveled from Ohio, which has banned most abortions, to neighboring Indiana to end the pregnancy. The case has become the latest flashpoint in the national abortion debate following the Supreme Court's reversal of Roe v. Wade. It was first reported earlier this month by the Indianapolis Star newspaper, citing a single source, an OBGYN in Indianapolis. The story went viral. Last week, President Biden brought it up.
Imagine being that little girl. I'm serious. Just imagine being that little girl, 10 years old.
But over the next several days, Republicans, including Ohio's Attorney General, cast doubt on the story.
We have regular contact with prosecutors and local police and sheriffs, not a whisper anywhere.
Then, yesterday, after the suspect's arrest, he issued a written statement. My heart aches for the pain suffered by this young child. I am grateful for the diligent work of the Columbus Police Department in securing a confession and getting a rapist off the street. The Wall Street Journal editorial board had also previously questioned the story. Now it's published a new editorial, correcting the record, writing, it appears President Biden was accurate. Still, Indiana's Republican Attorney General says he'll investigate the OBGYN who performed the procedure for failing to report it. That OBGYN says in part, doctors must be able to give people the medical care they need, when and where they need it. The case now highlighting deep divisions in this country as states scramble to clarify their own laws from supporters of abortion rights.
It's a hard truth to realize that these horrible things are going to happen to children and other people in your state because of the really severe restrictions that are placed
to those who oppose abortion.
With so many questions about what really happened, it's a real shame that the Biden administration rushed to exploit this poor little girl's situation.
And today, Republicans blocked an attempt by Senate Democrats to pass a bill to codify the right of individuals to cross state lines for an abortion.
The Idaho Republican Party has approved changes to its platform that criminalize all abortions without exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the mother, as well as greenlighting restrictions to voting in future GOP primary elections. On the third day of the Idaho GOP convention, delegates debated multiple proposed resolutions and platform changes, most of which passed. Key changes to the platform included calling all abortion murder, criminalizing abortion, and excluding exemptions for pregnancies resulting from rape and incest. The platform does not include an exemption allowing abortion if the life of the mother is in lethal danger. Republican Congresswoman Lauren Boebert has been reported to the FBI over her tweet that it is time to terminate the presidency of Joe Biden. See this video.
Lauren Boebert has been reported to the FBI for allegedly inciting violence by saying that we need to terminate the presidency of Joe Biden. Now, she doesn't say impeachment. She doesn't say 25th Amendment. She says terminate the presidency of Joe Biden. And now she has been reported to the FBI. Newsweek, Lauren Boebert reported to FBI after terminate this presidency tweet. Lauren Boebert has been reported by several users. The House Republican from Colorado on Sunday appeared to mock President Joe Biden after he mistakenly said presidency instead of pregnancy when discussing abortion rights being restricted in the U.S. following the revoking of Roe v. Wade. Quote, we need to terminate this presidency, end quote, repeat the line. Unfortunately, you can't just terminate things you don't want, Lauren. We've got to see this out through its full term.
For our next item, we go down to South Africa, where Tercia is waiting with her report.
Good evening, everybody. Well, depending on how you look at it, either a lot or just about nothing at all. Local Action is a political party that was started 2 years ago, and they are holding monthly prayer meetings to, listen to this, pray the ANC out of government. Marsha Barron, the PR councillor for ActionSA, said the following: the ANC had 28 years to take our country forward. Instead, everything is in shambles. Barron quoted ActionSA leader Herman Mashaba. The ANC and South Africa cannot coexist. One must die. And it will not be South Africa. Ms. Barron added that the aim of our prayers is to pray for the restoration and healing of South Africa. We preach love and not division. As a party, our dream for South Africa is to give hope a second chance. Thus, we pray for wisdom and strength for our leaders. Barron said they started the prayer meetings because we are taught that we work as if everything depends on us, but we pray as if everything depends on God. Put God first and everything else will follow. We invite everyone who loves our country to come together in solidarity and pray for South Africa. We believe that the prayers will work. Our objective is to pray for the restoration and healing of South Africa. We want to rally citizens to pray and work with us to end the ANC rule that has led the country into the crisis it is. So, if you believe in the efficacy of prayer, then the ANC government will soon no longer be in power. Over to you.
Thank you, Dorothy. We'll just have to wait and see, won't we? Shoalhaven City Council's mayor, Amanda Findlay, talks about her council's experience of replacing Christian prayer rituals with a moment of silent reflection to open its meetings. Mayor Findlay says she's hopeful of seeing the same opportunity taken in other councils and in the New South Wales Parliament and the Federal Parliament. Here's another video.
So I was first elected to Shoalhaven City Council in 2008 and tried really very early on to move out of the business papers of council the prayer. And because I felt that the prayer was an exclusive practice and that it really didn't reflect who we are as a group of people on the South Coast. And I also think that the place like Shoalhaven City Council or any level of government, we're there to do the business for the people. And in order to do the business for people, we need to be doing that in as inclusive way as possible. So it was really great to be able to turn up to the first meeting and have one of our new colleagues from the Labor Party, Councillor Liza Butler, move that we look to have a moment's reflection rather than continue with the practice of prayer. Shoalhaven City Council had taken the whole issue of the prayer to an extreme, and that they had mandated that the prayer be a Christian prayer, which of course excludes an enormous number of people within our community, because not only does it exclude those from different religious backgrounds, but it also excludes people who have no religious affiliation whatsoever. And there's many, many more of those every time Australia has a census result.
Ashley Gregg of the Maryland's Peninsula Primary School Parents and Carers Association said they'd held a survey of parents and carers in May because the requirement for chaplains to be people of faith was a bit out of place with the school's diverse community. Here's the video.
It's about equal opportunity, essentially. The PNC absolutely supports the chaplaincy program as much as having someone who does that job. It's vital to the school community. But the question is, well, why do they have to be of Christian faith or of faith at all? And I think the answer to that is, well, they don't. There are plenty of people who could provide, and we should be getting the best person for the job, not the best person of faith for the job. So essentially we asked the community if they support funding for equal opportunity employment in public schools for every position, regardless of a person's faith. Mm-hmm. And we also asked, do they support the PNC asking WACSO, the representative body, to advocate for pastoral care positions to be open to all applicants regardless of their faith. 71 out of 80 were agreeing with the sort of premise of the question that we should have equal opportunity employment for chaplains, yeah.
Because I think we need to be clear, you're not against the chaplaincy program. It's just that you want to be able to...
Absolutely. For the third time, we are 100% in support of the program. It's vital to the school community. It is all about equal opportunity, and in a diverse community and a country that is increasingly secular, we should have the best person for the job, not the best person of faith.
The new Australian Parliament needs to become more modern, more inclusive, and more reflective of our diverse society. Again, here's a video.
Well, as a member of Parliament, I've always been open about the fact that I am an atheist. Indeed, I've written before about the fact that, in my personal view, I don't believe that it's appropriate for each day's parliamentary sitting to begin with a prayer, and I don't participate in them myself.
The Watchman organization in the USA, in Georgia, Atlanta, has an unbelievable decree. See this video.
All right, go ahead. All right, Dutch, lead us. So we'll read it together, okay? As a patriot of faith, I attest my allegiance first and foremost to the kingdom of God and the Great Commission. Secondly, I agree to be a watchman over our nation concerning its people and their rights for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Whereas we, the church, are God's governing body on the earth. Whereas we have been given legal power from heaven and now exercise our authority. Whereas we are God's ambassadors and spokespeople over the earth. Whereas through the power of God, we are the world influencers. Whereas because of our covenant with God, we are equipped and delegated by Him to destroy every attempted advance of the enemy. We make our declarations. We decree that America's executive branch of government will honor God and defend the Constitution. We decree that our legislative branch, Congress, will write only laws that are righteous and constitutional. We decree that our judicial system will issue rulings that are biblical and constitutional. We declare that we stand against wokeness, the occult, and every evil attempt against our nation. We declare and we now take back our God-given freedoms according to our Constitution. We declare that we take back influence and the love in our communities. We decree that we take back and permanently control positions of influence and leadership in each of the 7 mountains. We decree that the blood of Jesus covers and protects our nation. It protects and separates us from God. We declare that our nation is energy dependent. We declare that America is strong spiritually, financially, militarily, and technologically. We decree that evil carries no power, authority, or rights in our land or over our people. We decree that we will operate in unity, going beyond denominational lines in order to accomplish the purposes of God for our nation. And we decree that America shall be saved. We know this country was founded on Judeo-Christian principles. We know the truth, therefore we stand for truth and will never be deceived. We will never stop fighting. We will never, ever give up again. We will take our country back. We will honor the one true God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. America shall be saved. Wow. Do you like that?
On July the 3rd, in Sambai, Uttar Pradesh, Talib Hussain, a restaurant owner, was taken into police custody on blasphemy charges. See this video.
This is crazy. On July 3rd in Sampar, Uttar Pradesh, Talib Hussain, a restaurant owner, was taken into police custody on blasphemy charges. He was accused of hurting the religious sentiments of the Hindu community by wrapping chicken dishes in old newspapers containing Hindu deities' images. Sub-Inspector Tyagi said a total of 90 full papers and 116 single sheets of newspaper from April 2nd, 2022 were with Hussain, which had images of goddess Mahogauri and Saraswati.
This week's Free Thought Hour features John Hamill, a former secretary of Atheist Alliance International, who has a channel called Free Thought Profit. He seems to have it in for his old charity. You can join in by texting your comments and questions. It's live and it's free. Don't forget to watch Global Atheist News Review, our spin-off show where a panel of opinionated people get a chance to express their views on this very news. The GAN team will be back with our weekly news report next week. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and set the notifications. This has been Global Atheist News. Thank you for watching.